Today's class is on basic concept of organic chemistry, part 1, which contains structural isomers and conformational and configurational isomers.
Today we are discussing about the basic concepts on organic chemistry. This is the first part, basic concepts on organic chemistry. The first portion is isomers. Now which are called isomers? The molecular, same general molecular formula, but different chemical and physical properties, different physical and chemical properties. These substances, these compounds are called isomers. Now first we have to classify different forms of isomers. Isomers are classified into basically two different categories. Isomers are classified into two different categories. Number one, structural isomer. On the basis of their structure, they are different. On the basis of their structure, maybe on the basis of their chain, maybe on the basis of their functional group, maybe on the basis of their position of the functional group, whatever may be. So they are different. That's why these are called the structural isomers. And the second category is stereoisomer. On the basis of three-dimensional configuration, stereoisomers. The isomers obtained are called the stereoisomers. On the basis of the three-dimensional configuration of compounds, the isomers obtained are called the stereoisomers. Structural isomers. Suppose structural isomers are again classified into different types. Number one, chain isomers. So the isomers which have same general molecular formula, but on the basis of the number of carbon atoms in the main chain, they are different. On the basis of the number of carbon atoms in the main chain, they are different. Suppose I am giving an example here. C. This is called N-pentane, normal pentane. But as it contains the general molecular formula of this compound, actually molecular formula of this compound is C5H12. But if we draw this structure containing 4 carbon atoms in the main chain and 1 in the branch chain, this is called 2-methyl-butane. It has also the same general molecular formula, but the structural difference is that the first compound contains 5 carbon atoms in the main chain, but the second compound contains 4 carbon atoms in the main chain and 1 in the branch chain. So these two are called the chain isomers. That means the number of carbon atoms, they are different on the basis of the number of carbon atoms in the main chain. This is called the chain isomers. Now second point is functional group isomers. Functional group isomers. Now which are called the functional group isomers? Number one, the first example is of the functional group isomer is CCCOH. This is the compound containing total 8 hydrogen atoms, and the name of this compound is propan-1-ol. But if we draw this structure like this also contains same number of carbon and hydrogen atom, but the functional groups are different because the first compound contains the functional group alcohol, but the second compound contains the functional group ether. Name of this compound, IUPAC name of this compound is methoxyethane. The functional group is ether. So they have same general molecular formula, that means C3H8O, but the functional groups are different. So these two are called the functional group isomers of each other. One is the alcohol and another is the ether, called the functional group isomer. And the third is the positional isomer. If the main chain containing same carbon atom compounds having same carbon atom in the main chain as well as the same functional group in the main chain, but the position of the functional group are different, then these are called the positional isomers. How this can be obtained? See this structure, the positional isomer. Number one, suppose CCCOH. This is called the propan 1-ol. Propan 1-ol. But if we draw this structure like this, OHZR, then this compound is called propan 2-ol. So both the compounds, see, in both the compounds, the number of carbon atom in the main chain remains same, 3 carbon atoms. Function group also remains same, alcohol group, but the position of alcohol group is different. This is number 1, this is number 2. That's why this is called propan 1-ol, and the second compound is called propan 2-ol. So these two are the called positional isomers. Now, apart of these three types, there are also other 2 types of structural isomer. Number 1 is metamer. Metamer. That means not on the basis of the carbon, but with respect to a divalent or trivalent atom. Suppose a divalent atom is oxygen. So on the basis of the divalent atom or a trivalent atom, if different number of alkyl groups are attached, then the isomers obtained are called the metamer. See this compound. This is the ethoxyethane. Name of this compound is ethoxyethane. Ethoxyethane. But if we draw the structure, different compound having same functional group isomer, functional group actually ether, but this is the structure called methoxypropane. These two compounds contain same number of carbon atom, hydrogen atom as well as oxygen as well as same functional group. So these two compounds, so the different is that this is the divalent atom. With respect to divalent atom, different number of alkyl groups are attached. This alkyl group contains 2 carbon atoms. This alkyl group also contains 2 carbon atoms. But here 1 carbon atom and 3 carbon atoms. Also, if we draw this structure like this, 2-methoxypropane. This is the 2-methoxypropane. So these structures are called the metamer with each other. Like this, we can draw the metamer with respect to the nitrogen atom. It is a trivalent atom like this, CCCNH2, called propanamine. But if we draw this structure keeping the same functional group, if we draw this structure like this, known as the methylethylamine. And if we draw another structure like this, CNCC, then this is called trimethylamine. These 3 structures, observe these 3 structures. See this, that with respect to a trivalent atom, the different alkyl groups are attached. In the first compound, this is the propyl group. In the second compound, this is ethyl and methyl. In the third compound, the 3 alkyl groups are all methyl groups. So, with respect to a trivalent atom, if different alkyl groups are attached, then isomers obtained are called the metamer of each other. Now, the next point is tautomer, which is more important with respect to metamer. See this tautomer. Now, what is called tautomer? See this structure and the specialization of the tautomers. Tautomers are those structures of a particular compound which is in equilibrium with another structure at the same temperature and pressure, under the same condition of the temperature and pressure. If A equilibrates with the structure B, then these two compounds are called tautomer of each other. Same compound under same temperature and pressure without using any reagents, any different reagent. If A converts to B and maintains an equilibrium, then these two structures are called tautomer of each other. How this can be obtained? The general form of the tautomere is like this: C double bond C, single bond C, single bond H, like this. If any compound has such type of structure, then it goes to tautomerize and forms a tautomeric structure, except this particular compound, HC triple bond N. Though this compound has no such type of structure, C triple bond or double bond C, single bond C, single bond H, that means it must contain 3 carbon atom, but it contains only 1 carbon, but it also can form tautomer. This is one of the exceptional case, but apart of these, all the compound, this is cyanic acid, hydrocyanic acid, this is isocyanic acid, this is hydrocyanic acid, and the second part is isocyanic acid. So these two are tautomer of each other, but this is the exceptional case. Apart of this, any other compound which contains a part of this can tautomerize. And how it can tautomerize? See the structure, just like resonance, but the difference is that here the atom transfer is possible and it is allowed, but in case of resonance, no atom transfer is possible. So it maintains an equilibrium like this. It converts to C, that means hydrogen converts to here, goes to this carbon atom, on this carbon atom, this will be single bond, this will be double bond, and again it can be tautomerized to form the initial structure. It forms the initial structure. So if or whenever a compound contains such type of structure, it can be tautomerized. Like this, suppose CH3, C double bond O, single bond H. Suppose this compound, see this compound has such type of structure, C double bond C, single bond C, single bond H. See this, C O double bond C, single bond C, single bond H. So not only the carbon atom, but it may contain any other atoms to satisfy its valency. Here the other atom is oxygen here, CH3 C double bond OH. See this is the first carbon. Let we have assumed that this is the first carbon. Let this is the structure actually, X double bond Y, single bond Z, single bond H. So this is X double bond Y, single bond Z, this is single bond Z, single bond hydrogen. So it can be tautomerized to form such type of structure like this, CH. This hydrogen forms a double bond by dissociating, and this hydrogen shifts to the oxygen, forms this structure. So this structure is called the keto form, and this structure is called the enol form, and that's why this is called the keto-enol tautomer. But apart of this, there is also another form of tautomer known as the nitroacid tautomer. This is the structure, CH3N double bond O, coordinate bond O. This is the nitro form, nitromethane, and it converts to, see the structure, X double bond Y, single bond Z, single bond H. So this hydrogen can be tautomerized. How? Because it shifts over this oxygen to form CH2 double bond N, single bond OH, coordinate bond O. See this structure, this is the acid form. So these two tautomer is called the nitroacid tautomer. So actually there are two different types of tautomer. One is the keto-enol tautomer and the other form is nitroacid tautomer. Now I am discussing about the stereoisomers. How it can be obtained? See the structure of stereoisomers. So general form of stereoisomers. Suppose this is the A station. A train goes to the B station, and from B it goes to the C station. And suppose a passenger has to be dropped on B station. Now, according to the given address to the passenger, with respect to the direction of the train, to the left hand side there is a D shop. Suppose it is a shop, and on its right hand side Suppose there is E, a field is there. Suppose there is a field. So this is the given address to him. But by mistake, he has drawn such type of structure. Suppose A to B, B to C. This is the direction of the passenger train. Now, according to him, he supposed that E field is on the left hand side. This is the field, and the D shop is at the right hand side. D shop. So this is called. See this. The main structure contains same number of carbon atoms. So main structure contains the same number of carbon atoms. Let this. This is the main way, pathway. Now these are the functional groups, shop and field. So these are the functional groups. Functional group. So these are also attached at the same carbon atom where it is attached in the first structure. But their position, their three-dimensional configuration are different. One is from the left hand side and other is at the right hand side. But on the structure, this is suppose functional group 1, this is suppose functional group 2. But in the other structure, it is seen that the function group 2 is here and the function group 1 is here. Function group 1 is here, and then we can tell that that these two structures are called the stereoisomers. Only three-dimensional orientations are different with respect to this main carbon chain. So main carbon chain remains same, function group remains same, the position also remains same, but the three-dimensional orientation is different, and that's why the isomers obtained are called the stereoisomers, 3D isomers actually. Now different types of 3D isomers, that means stereoisomers, are obtained. These are classified basically into two types. Number one, geometrical isomers, and number two is the optical isomers. Now first we have to draw our concept on the geometrical isomers. Geometrical isomers again are two types. Number one, this is configurational. What is configurational isomers? Configurational. With respect to a rigid part of the carbon body, with respect to a rigid part of the carbon skeleton, the isomers obtained through the rotation, through the different orientation of the different groups, the isomers obtained are called the configurational isomers. Now, which is called the rigid part of the carbon skeleton? The double bonded system is called the rigid part. Why it is called the rigid part? Because we know that with respect to the single bond, suppose this red color show the sigma bond in between two carbon atoms. So with respect to this sigma bond, see this structure, the sigma bond can be rotated with respect to this, and that's why the bond orientation with respect to the other groups on the carbon atom will be different in different times, and that's why such type of configuration, such type of different forms are obtained in case of the second part, which is called the conformational isomer. But here, as it contains a pi bond, so if we rotate this with respect to the sigma bond, pi bond will be dissociated, and the bond structure, that means the compound, will be dissociated, will be different, and that's why this is a rigid part. We can't dissociate this linkage, because if we want to rotate this with respect to this sigma bond, we have to rotate with respect to both sigma as well as pi, and that's why it is called the rigid part. So with respect to a rigid part, and see that triple bond also a rigid part. If it contains a triple bond, it also a rigid part, but with respect to this rigid part, we can't say. See this, the difference between double bond and triple bonds. This is the double bonded structure. If the double bonded structure, that means this is sp2 hybridized carbon atom, this is also sp2 hybridized carbon atom. So to fulfill its valency, two different bonds are obtained. These two carbon atoms are in the same plane because these are sp2 hybridized. So if the different groups are A and B, suppose A and B groups are attached with this. What is A? The mass of A must be greater than B, because A not equal to B. A not equal to B. This is the basic condition of the geometrical isomer. Configurational isomer. A must be not equal to B, but mass of A which is directly attached with the carbon atom, which is directly attached with the carbon atom, the atom which is directly attached with the carbon atom, the mass of that atom must be greater than that of B. So if it satisfies these two conditions, then we can tell that this particular structure can form configurational isomers. Now suppose this is also attached with A and B, and with respect to this pi bond, if we draw an imaginary plane, then see that A and A are in the same side. Such type of structure is called Cs. This is the Greek or Latin term, means same side. But if the structure is like this, C double bond C, A, B remains same, but here B and A will be different with respect to this direction. So if we draw a perpendicular, we draw a straight line with respect to this pi bond, then see that A and A are in the opposite side with respect to this imaginary line, imaginary plane. So that is called the trans, that means opposite. So these two are cis and trans isomers, cis and trans isomers. So actually we can say that configurational isomers are again classified into two types. Number one, cis and trans. Cis and trans. Cis means same side, trans means opposite side. Suppose I am giving an example like this. Cis butene. Cis butene. The structure is C double bond C, CH3, CH3. This is the cis butene. See this is the A group here because the mass of carbon is greater than that of hydrogen. And this is the trans butene. See this structure, CH3H remains same, but here H and CH3 are in opposite with respect to the initial hydrogen or methyl group respectively, and that's why this is the upper part is called the cis structure and the lower part is called the trans structure. So cis and trans isomer. Now the second part is syn and anti isomer. Syn and anti. Now what is syn and what is anti? How can it can be identified? Suppose any one of these two groups are changed here. Let we have assumed that this is Cl and this is suppose CH3. Now how can we be it will be assigned which one is A, because this carbon is directly attached with carbon which has greater mass than that of hydrogen, so this will be A and this will be B. But here see this, chlorine and carbon directly attached with this carbon. Here chlorine has higher mass than that of C because chlorine 35.5 and carbon has 12. So chlorine has higher mass, that's why this is A, but this is B. As the A groups are in the same side with respect to this imaginary plane, then we can say that this is the cis form. But here the groups are different. See that A and A. Here A is CH3 and here A is Cl. So as the groups are different, we can't say that this is cis. Instead of cis, we can see there, we can tell that this is the Z isomer. Z. This is the Z form. This is the Z form known as the zuzamine. Zuzamine. This is also a Latin term. And if we draw this structure like this, CH3 is here and Cl is here. See this with respect to this imaginary plane. This is the CH3 group. This is the actually B group here. Here this is A. This is B. But here this is B. Here this is A. As the A groups are in opposite with respect to this imaginary plane, this is called E isomer. Enzizine. This is enzizine. This is zuzamine. So Z and E isomer. So the second form actually is the Z and E isomer. That means E and Z isomers. But if or whenever the double bonded carbon atom is attached with suppose nitrogen, then suppose it is attached with nitrogen, C double bond N, then the third bond of the nitrogen, because nitrogen shows trivalency, third bond of the nitrogen, suppose hydrogen, and here it contains also a lone pair, but here yes, this suppose CH3, this is H. Now with respect to this lone pair, the CH3 group is anti, this is anti position, but with respect to, if we draw this structure like this, here the lone pair, here is the hydrogen, here is the CH3 group, Here is the hydrogen. So with respect to this lone pair, this CH3 group is in the same side with respect to this plane. Now this is called the syn. So instead of carbon, if one atom is replaced by the carbon, replaced by nitrogen. So if one carbon is replaced by nitrogen with respect to this double bond, then we can say that neither C strands nor EZ. Rather, we can use this term syn and anti-periplanar. These are all the geometrical isomers. Now we can draw the structures of conformational isomers. This is the conformational isomers. Conformational. Now what is conformational isomer? How can it be obtained? Just before the drawing the structure of configurational isomer, I have shown that already that this is the sigma bond. The carbon atoms are attached here. These are the trivalency. Suppose this is the carbon sigma bond. These groups are fulfill the trivalence of the carbon atom. Here also this. But if we rotate this with respect to sigma bond, different isomers are obtained. These isomers are called the conformational isomers. So the isomers obtained through the free rotation of the sigma bond with respect to the carbon-carbon sigma bond, the free rotation, the isomers obtained are called the conformational isomers. That means C single bond C. Suppose these groups are hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. This is also hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. So if we rotate this like this, so the structure is, say that this is the structure actually. If we draw the Newman projection formula of this ethane, this compound is ethane. So we can draw this structure for the Newman projection formula. See this from this carbon atom, the first carbon is like this and second carbon is like this. The first carbon contains 3 hydrogen atoms. Suppose the first carbon contains 3 hydrogen like this, hydrogen, hydrogen, and this is the hydrogen. But the backside carbon, this carbon also contains 3 hydrogen, 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 and hydrogen. This structure is called, actually this structure, see that these 2 hydrogen has steric hindrance with respect to each other. These 2 hydrogens, actually all such type of hydrogen atoms suffer steric hindrance with respect to each other, as well as, so number 1, steric hindrance is suffered. This structure suffered steric hindrance with respect to the all groups like this, and also suffered electronic repulsion. Electronic repulsion. See this electronic repulsion, how can it be occurred? See this. This is the sigma bond. This is a sigma bond. That means it contains pair of electrons. And the backside bond is also a sigma bond. It also contains a pair of electrons. So these 2 electrons, when just come over each other, they repel because they are closer to each other, and that's why they repel each other. So this type of structure suffers maximum steric hindrance as well as electronic repulsion. So this is very much unstable structure. This is the structure 1, suppose. So maximum energy, stability is the minimum here. And the structure, if we rotate the backside carbon clockwise 60 degrees. See that in this structure the bond angle is 120. If the backside carbon is rotated clockwise 60 degrees, then the second structure will be like this. Second structure will be like this. Here no such type of interaction occurs. No the steric hindrance, nor the electronic repulsion. So this is more stable than that of the previous structure. This is the structure number 1 and this is the structure number 2. So 2 is more stable than that of 1. This is the stability order because it has no stability order. So it has no steric hindrance as well as no such type of interaction occurs. So this type of structure 2 is more stable than that of 1. Now see this structure, the ethane. already have drawn the conformers of the ethane. The first structure is called the eclipse structure, where the flat pole interaction, this is called actually flat pole type interaction, not actual flat pole but flat pole type interaction. Here the two sigma bonds come over each other, and that's why static hindrance as well as electronic repulsion occurs. Eclipse is the most unstable structure, and gauge, as compared to the eclipse, this is the anti-structure actually, gauge structure, where all the hydrogen atoms are anti to each other. So this structure is more stable. 2 is greater than 1 stability. Now we have drawn the conformational isomers, conformations of butane. See this structure of butane. CH3 CH2, actually the formula of butane is CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. So if we draw this with respect to first carbon this and second carbon is this, if we draw the structure like this, then see this, the conformers. First, this is the Newman projection formula. The first carbon contains 2 hydrogen atom and 1 CH3 group. See this. This is 2 hydrogen atom and here 1 CH3 group. And the second carbon also contains 2 hydrogen, 1 CH3 group. Second carbon also contains, see this, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 CH3 group. But in the first structure, see that this is the eclipse structure, fully eclipsed, where 2 CH3 group are eclipsed with each other. So the maximum interaction, that means static hindrance occur, as well as electronic repulsion occurs, and so that's why the first structure is called the fully eclipsed structure. This is the fully eclipsed. The first one is called the fully eclipsed structure. Fully eclipsed. Now the second one, if we rotate the back carbon clockwise 60 degree, rotate the back carbon clockwise. So as the first carbon is fully eclipsed, its interaction is maximum, it is maximum unstable, it shows the maximum unstability, and that's why this shows at this position maximum energy, minimum stability. So this is the actually in energy profile diagram, you can draw the structure at this position. Suppose now back carbon is rotated clockwise 60 degree. See this, front carbon remains same, the position of the front carbon and the groups are remain same, but this CH3 group goes to that place. So this CH3 group goes to that place. Hydrogen here, hydrogen is here, this hydrogen is also here, this hydrogen is here, and so this structure, the somewhat the interaction is minimized, and but such type of interaction occurs. This is called the gauge interaction. This is called the gauge interaction, and that's why this structure is called the gauge structure. Second structure is gauge structure, gauge, which is more stable than that of 1, because static hindrance is minimized, electronic repulsion is also minimized, but still now CH3 CH3 group are gauge with respect to each other, and this is called the gauge interaction. Structure is also called gauge. Now again, if we rotate the back carbon 60 degree clockwise, then see that back carbon CH3 comes here, this CH3 group comes here, CH3 is eclipsed with hydrogen, this hydrogen eclipsed with this hydrogen, see this, and this hydrogen goes to CH3 group, this hydrogen. So this is also a eclipse structure, but not so much eclipse like this. Here CH3 is eclipsed with CH3, but here H is eclipsed with CH3. That's why this is called partially eclipsed structure. Partially eclipsed structure. Now this structure, position of this structure is 3, because this is somewhat energized as compared to 2, because less stable. Static hindrance is more as compared to 2. Here gauge interaction, static hindrance minimized, electronic repulsion also minimized, but here it is increased, and that's why 3 structure is less stable than that of 2. Now again, if we rotate the back carbon clockwise 60 degree, then this CH3 group comes to this, here this CH3 group comes to this position. Here this hydrogen goes to that position, see that hydrogen is here, and this hydrogen comes to this position, here the hydrogen is here. See that in this structure the 2 CH3 groups are anti or trans with respect to each other, actually anti-periplanar, anti to with respect to each other. Hydrogen atoms are also anti to each other. These hydrogen atoms are also anti to each other, and this is the most stable structure. This is called the anti-structure. Anti. This is the most stable structure. Here it shows the anti-structure 4. And again, if we rotate, then again it comes to this part like this, statically hindered. Then comes this, at this position, maximum energy. This is the fully eclipsed structure. Again, we obtain such type of structure. So see these 2 energy level remain same. Actually, here also these 2 energy level remain same. because the energy level approx at the same level. So this is the actual energy profile diagram of the butane. Here if we draw the stability, then 4 has the maximum stability. If we draw the stability or compare the stability between these 4 structures, 4 has the maximum stability because all the groups are anti with respect to each other. No steric hindrance occurs. After 4 it comes 2 because gauge interaction occurs but not completely eclipsed or partially eclipsed. So as compared to other 2 eclipsed structure, gauge is more stable. Next 3, because this is partially eclipsed, not fully eclipsed. So next structure will be 3. And the least stable is number 1. This is the fully eclipsed structure. This is completed.